Hey everybody, welcome into another exciting edition of Hog Heaven. We do apologize for not being able to come live to you last week. Zach Lee earned a much needed vacation, so we were unable to do any recording, but again, Zach really did earn that vacation, so we were able to give him a week off to reset, rewind, and get ready for an exciting 2020 AirHogs season. And as we talk about an exciting 2020 season, the AirHogs are starting to make some moves now, adding players to that active roster so far. Justin Bird's been re-signed, Javion Randall's been re-signed. Now as well, a couple of the guys that we get a chance to talk to today. Travis Ballew re-signed for the 2020 season. He joins us. And then first-time AirHogs Matt Terrones joins us on the program as well. Matt played in the Pacific Association with Viejo last season, and we're excited to have him on the AirHogs here in 2020. So buckle up, get ready for an exciting edition of Hog Heaven coming right at you. Hey everybody, welcome back in on Hog Heaven. A really exciting segment as we get closer and closer to that 2020 season. If you follow the AirHogs on social media, you're starting to see a litany of signings as we're putting together our team for 2020. And one of the guys we're really excited to not only have for 2020, but to have back for 2020, Travis Ballew. Travis, welcome in on Hog Heaven.
How's it going?
Doing great, man. And what was it like for you to get that contract, put ink on paper, and know that you'll be pitching for the AirHogs again in 2020?
It was nice. I was talking to Billy throughout the offseason a little bit, texting him every now and then. Finally, he was like, "You're in our plans," yada, yada, yada. Finally, he ended up sending over a contract, which was relieving. Just so I've been all over the place scheduling things, busy with people, so it was nice. And I'm like, okay, this is set. I can not worry about it anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned you've been all over the place. You work doing private lessons part of the time, and now you're with a high school over with Pete Perez, fellow teammate, coaching as well. You've had a pretty busy off season so far.
Yeah, right now actually I'm employed by 3 different places. So I'm at the school, Episcopal School of Dallas. Me and Pete both coach the middle school team, and then we help out with JV and varsity. And then I'm over at DBAT Arlington, and then I'm at a new facility that just opened up called Elite 5-Tool Fitness, which is in Dallas. So, I'm back and forth, scheduling lessons at DBAT, scheduling lessons there. I also do group lessons in Dallas. And then I got the school every single day. So after that, it's like either DBAT or other place in Dallas.
When we had a chance to talk to Justin Bird a couple weeks ago, one of the things he talked about is every other offseason, he'd always focus so hard on the coaching aspect of things. This year, he's kind of focusing on himself. How do you find time to make sure that you get the work in that Travis Ballew needs to be ready to go in 2020? But also, as you mentioned, you got 3 jobs coaching baseball every day.
Yeah, so it's actually a long day. I've been pretty exhausted. I've actually been going to bed before midnight some nights. So usually me and Pete will go to the school that we coach at early. We'll get all our throwing in, lifting in if we want. We'll throw there. Our practice, we got to be there at 2:30. So we'll usually go over there, eat lunch, work out, then throw, then go practice, and then we each have lessons our separate ways. So we try to get everything done, lunch to that 2:30 time and get everything in. It's tough though some days. Throwing bullpens and stuff without a catcher, you got to pick up balls. It takes longer than normal, so we're pressing time all the time. So you got to do it in the mornings. You got to kind of get up and get moving around early.
Last year you went into the season really with the plans to be a starter, stretch the arm out a little bit. What have you been working on this offseason specifically? Are you looking to go back into that starting rotation, or do you maybe see yourself with the opportunity here at the AirHogs maybe close some games down when we have leads late?
I haven't really thought about that much. I'm kind of doing the same thing I would normally do. I usually always try to build my pitch count up because not knowing injuries, whatever, who might slide into what, and I always want to be prepared for whatever's thrown at me. So I don't want to come here and it be, oh man, such and such is hurt, he can't start, can you fill in that role? And it's like, well, I've haven't thrown more than 40 pitches. So I try to at least build up to at least, 60, 65, 70 range in there so that you can maybe get a big bulk of the game out of the way if need be. But this offseason, mostly I've been watching a lot of things with Trevor Bauer and some of his stuff, talking about his slider, and I want to I've been trying very recently, so not the whole offseason, trying to get my slider to have more horizontal break instead of vertical break, so that I have my slider going this way and my curveball going this way, so they're not, because they're similar speeds already. So if one's going this way and one's going that way, it's not a very big difference. I want to make sure that the slider is significantly more horizontal than the curveball.
So you mentioned Trevor Bauer just there. He's obviously one of the guys, when you look at mechanics, I don't think you're going to find anyone more scientific with their approach than Trevor Bauer. Who else are you looking at? What kind of accounts online, things like that, do you look at when it comes to mechanics to make sure that you're in an arm slot, you're looking what you need to do going into the season?
Yeah, so a big thing I look at is drive line. Like they have, if you go on YouTube, you can type in their stuff and you'll see all the mechanics that they work on and the stuff they teach guys. So you just try to mimic it. Not being there, obviously you don't have the eyes, but that's where your video comes in of yourself. A lot of Trevor Bauer, him and Sonny Gray worked on Sonny Gray's slider, and Sonny Gray had a all-star year last year after coming out of New York and not done that well. So stuff like that, drive line, there's this guy, Pitching Ninja, where he puts every clip that he's ever clipped in a drop box. So you can go in and find any pitcher that you want, and you can see their pitches, see how they move. It's kind of blurry, but you can kind of see how their hands look.
This is the Pitching Ninja on Twitter?
Yes. Yeah, so he has his drop box on Twitter that you can just click on, and he has every clip that he's ever clipped on there. So you can go in, you can look up Marcus Stroman, you can look up Bauer, you can look up Verlander, you can look up Cole, and there's side views of their mechanics, aerial views, behind views, everything, catcher views.
And that's an account too. Major league players follow that account, and they check after you make a start. You check the Pitching Ninja's Twitter to see, hey, I threw a slider in the 5th inning. Maybe it caught his attention.
Right. Yeah. He's been doing a lot of college guys too. So there's been some college guys on there. It's just a good account because you can see it's like watching a home run derby for pitching, because you get to see the best pitches of that day, or what happened, what pitch is really good, who's got the best slider, who's got the best curveball. And then also for me, it's like seeing the hitters' reactions when they duck out of the way and all that stuff. So that's interesting. And I usually sit up there and just watch TV and go through those and go through mechanics stuff.
So we had a chance last year to bring your wife Nikki in with us on the broadcast for one inning. I know maybe going into that game you weren't exactly looking forward to that moment too much, but I think overall it was fun for her to be able to experience, number one, being able to come watch you play almost every single game, but number two, being a part of the season. What do you look forward to I guess, letting her be involved with in the broadcast, or involved with you being active in the AirHogs again?
Yeah, she enjoys it. She likes coming to the games. The only thing she doesn't like is that we have never had a summer where I'm not gone, quote unquote. Not that I'm gone now, but it's like when we go on the road. So it's like we have a pool and everything. She's like, I have to use the pool by myself, and it's like, so she invites friends over, but it's like I'm not there. And there's some days, yeah, I'll get in the pool for the game or whatever like that. But that's the one thing I would say is she just, sometimes vacations get cut short, stuff like that, and we have to go at different times. But she enjoys coming to the games and enjoys watching. She knows I like to do it, so.
What about being able to come home every night and sleep in your own bed and see your significant other? You've played, you've been in the Marlins organization, the Astros, you've pitched in Fargo. A lot of these places are nowhere near Arlington, which is where you stay right now. What's it like to be able to drive 15, 20 minutes home at night and see your wife every day?
Yeah, it's nice. That's probably the best thing I would say about playing near home is that you get to go home at the end of the day. So no matter what you did at the field, you go home and it's like, if you have an apartment and you're on the road and you're not at home, you sometimes go sit and you just think about what I did wrong, what I did at the game, where it's like, yeah, I'll do that some at home, but it's like when I go home, it kind of can get forgotten easier just because there's different things going on. I got stuff to do at the house. She's there. My dog's there. So it's just kind of you go home and you reset for the next day. And I'd say that's the most relaxing thing about it. Say if you had an altercation with someone, I don't have to go to an apartment and see someone maybe that I bumped heads with earlier that day, whereas I go home, I'm done, I forgot about it, whatever. I don't have to go dwell on something, not at my own house. Or, when you've been gone forever, some people, like, man, this sucks, I want to be home. If you haven't been doing well, it's like, I go home, I'm home. All right, whatever, I suck, that's fine.
You mentioned going home and seeing your dog. The pup came out last year for Dog Day. Obviously now in the AirHogs universe, a famous picture has been shot, which has kind of become the advertisement for Dog Day this year. What's it like to be the owner of the face of AirHogs, Furry Fridays?
Yeah, he's a good dog. He's very hyper. He'll probably be out this year for sure. Hopefully, maybe we can get him into a couple more games.
We're doing four Furry Friday games this season.
Oh, really?
So we'll have at least 4 games on the docket.
Nice. Yeah, that'll be good. He always enjoys getting outside the house. I mean, he's locked up so much. Not locked up. He walks around the house. We don't lock him in a kennel anymore. But he gets to roam around the house. But anytime you see him, like, we'll sometimes peek our head in the window before we walk in the house. And he's dead asleep, so I know he's not doing anything. But he enjoys getting outside and getting to walk around, whether it be around the block that takes 5 minutes, He's so excited, and it's like, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Same thing putting him in the car. Like, you could just be driving around the block, and he'll be happy, he'll be content, he'll run the house, and he's totally cool.
There you go. What about getting the chance to play with Chris Bando again this season? He's such a kind of an even-tempered personality in that locker room, such a long season. What's it like to be able to go back in knowing Bando's going to be back again this year, someone who really did show a lot of faith in you last year? Yeah,
it's nice knowing who the manager's going to be, so you don't have to know, their personality, how everything's going to run, because since you've already been here last year and seen them last year, you know how clubhouse is going to be, the kind of rules, his expectations. And also the thing I like is he's kind of laid back. He kind of lets you go perform and work on what you think you need to work on. He's not always on you, hey, I want you to do this, I want you to do this, I want you to do this. It's kind of like, okay, if this isn't working, he'll have a suggestion and tell you what he thinks you should try to do, and then you can take it for what it is, and you can decide whether you want to or not, but he's not gonna force you to do something that you're not comfortable with.
Absolutely, and I think when you've got a long season like baseball is, where you're out there every single day, having a guy like Chris Bando he can get mad, he can get fiery, but like you mentioned, he's even-keeled, he's laid back. He's going to let you go out and find a way to do what you've done professionally for 6 or 7 years and do it the best way you know how.
Right. I mean, everybody's here for a reason, whether that be a good thing or a bad thing. Take it how you want, because there are some guys that have just gotten released and they're here and they look at it as a bad thing. I try to stay positive. I mean, I'm here, I still get to pitch, I'm close to home. Whether affiliated ball is still a chance, I mean, it's not really a big deal to me. I enjoy pitching either way. I mean, I'll go pitch to high school kids and enjoy it. But it is nice to have someone that is even keel. I'm kind of that way in that I'm never really angry. I'm never really super excited. Sometimes that becomes an issue where I'm kind of like, oh, okay, cool. I struck out, got bases loaded. All right, whatever. That's what I'm expected to do. So, but yeah, it's nice having a guy like that that tries to keep everybody not too high, not too low.
Absolutely. We'll get you out of here on this one. You've been in this league for a few years now. You've seen all the stops. Last year, Milwaukee, the newest team being added. Do you have a city you're really looking forward to going to this year? One, I know you played in Fargo. You enjoy your time going back up there, but just so many great stops in this league. Where are you looking forward to pulling into? Yeah,
St. Paul's always fun to go to. I mean, everybody probably knows that. With all the fans and everything, it's I'd say it's definitely AAA level stadium. It's nice. I really like going to Chicago just because it's near Chicago, but the stadium's nice. It's crazy that they don't get more fans, but I guess you got so much going on around that area. But the stadium's really nice. I like that area. It's a nice area. I'd say those are my top two. And then I do enjoy Winnipeg. Once again, the fans and everything. And Canada's a little different, but I do enjoy going there and just they always have pretty decent teams. So, they're very competitive games, and then just the atmosphere of St. Paul and Winnipeg is exciting to play in, especially sometimes when you go to places you don't have the biggest crowds. So it's kind of like, just pitching in a spring training game versus a regular season game.
Absolutely, and this year too, when we go to Winnipeg, we get a chance to catch up with former AirHogs, Jonathan Maroney and Kevin Hilton as well.
That's right.
So that'll be exciting.
That's right.
But Travis, we really appreciate you coming in and joining us. We know you got some work to get to out on the field today, doing a little throwing.
Yep. We'll see how that goes if this rain would stop a little bit.
But we appreciate you coming up and joining us. We're really looking forward to 2020 and seeing you back out on the bump.
Yep, sounds good. Thanks.
We'll be right back after this. grilled chicken club, extra bacon, please. So just regular bacon. Just a grilled chicken sandwich then.
At Texas Paint, we know how valuable your time is. So keep painting. We're on the way. We can be where you need us, when you need us, anywhere in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. With free 2-hour delivery of paints, stains, sundries, and expert product advice. Save time, save money. Find the location closest to you at TexasPaint.com. That's free 2-hour delivery from Texas Paint. Go to TexasPaint.com. That's TexasPaint.com.
Hey, welcome back in another great segment of Hog Heaven. And this is one of the most exciting things we get to do is when we have a new player sign, we get a chance to introduce them to you guys. And we haven't had a chance to do that too much this year. We had a phone call with Christian Correa when we traded for him early in the year. But Matt, we appreciate you coming in, joining us. Welcome to the AirHogs.
Great to be here. Great to be here.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself to the AirHogs faithful, and what are we looking forward to here in 2020?
Well, I'm Matt Terrones. I'm a local guy. I grew up around here, out in Mesquite, Texas. My parents live there right now. Just excited to be here, excited to sign. It was kind of a journey getting here, playing through some of the lower leagues and everything like that, having to work my way up, put up some numbers and get better as an athlete and as an individual to reach a place like this, a nice place to play in the American Association, obviously one of the most prestigious independent leagues out there, where a lot of guys are fighting for those contracts and a lot of guys don't get those contracts. So it's great to be here. I feel really blessed to be here and just really excited, ready to get it going for 2020.
You know, you started the college career, you finished your college career at Texas A&M Kingsville. What was that experience like, playing in a highly competitive collegiate level?
Actually, I played my senior year at Mid-American Nazarene University, but touching on Kingsville, I loved every second of it. Playing in 2015, I was hurt through 2016. I had Tommy John. So 2016, I was out, and then I transferred out for my senior year because of personal reasons. But in 2015, when I played there, it was great. I was part of the rotation. I think every starting pitcher that year was a first-team all-conference guy. So everybody was locked in. Everybody was firing on all cylinders. Our coach knew how to make the team mesh and mold. He started that in the fall. He put us through some pretty intense workouts and stuff like that. Always yelling, it pays to be a winner. There was always a payout if we didn't do something fast enough or if we didn't do something as a team. We had to get together as a team and just like grind it out, I guess you would call it punishment, but it was to gel us, it was to mold us, and it worked. And as we got into the season, stuff started clicking, our hitters were clicking. I think our 4-hole hit like 350 on the year with like 10 bombs or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. It's been like 5 years since that, but it was really exciting to play in that atmosphere. You could see as you started winning, more people started coming out, more people started getting interested. National rankings were always a good motivator. It was just good to be in that environment and be able to perform in that environment, and everybody's gunning for you because they know that you have a really good squad. And we ended up winning conference that year, and didn't make it past the regional, but we ended up winning conference that year, which was our biggest goal going into it. So it was really nice playing there.
Absolutely. And you mentioned after getting out of college, you played in some of the other independent leagues, and one of the ones you played in the Pecos League, really well known as guys who truly love the game of baseball, right? It's no one out there is doing it for the money. You're doing it, as you said, to put numbers up and find a way to get better. I don't want to talk negatively about any league, but talk a little bit just about your experience down there and what makes you grateful to be able to come and play in the American Association.
Well, it's a grind. It really is. You see how the American Association works as far as independent ball, as far as guys will come, guys will get cut, guys get traded all the time. It's kind of the same way in the Pecos, except without all of this. It's a lot of places don't. I was fortunate enough to play in Alpine, and they have a stadium out there, small, quaint, historical stadium that like Lou Gehrig played on back in the day and guys like that. But a lot of city fields, a lot of potholes, and the mound is like 2 inches too short with big holes in it, and the rubbers aren't right. The rubbers are tilted to the left to home plate, and team travel. We had 2 vans. We had to stick 25 guys on, 25 plus guys, plus coaches and everything, plus all our gear. Small little U-Haul trailer stacked to the roof, and we're driving from Alpine, Texas to Garden City, Kansas, 10 to 12 hours with just sleeping on each other's laps. No room to wiggle. Motel 6 rooms with 4 guys, 2 per bed. Got to wake up, got to go play the next day, got to go travel in those vans, get out of the vans, get like 2 hours of sleep, then go play a game. That stuff happens in the Pecos, and the playing fields are nothing. Some of these people get no fans whatsoever. There are some nice stadiums, and it's no fault of the Pecos. I mean, that's what it's there for. You're not in the Pecos to become a Pecos Hall of Famer. You're there to be like, all right, you're on your last leg here, but we have a spot for you. So what are you willing to do to fight back and maybe get to the next level? So really the Pecos League, like you said, the pay is nothing. The pay is like, you don't want it. You don't want that kind of pay. You're not doing it for the money, especially when you're at that level, because that pay is gone in a few days. But you have to love it. You have to be able to commit it. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to be able to know you can get somewhere better, and your skill set can improve to go on to the higher leagues, maybe go on to affiliated ball, and Lord willing, go on all the way to the major leagues. I mean, that's what we're all here for.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the guys you've played with your whole life, realistically, at different points, and who's kind of made that jump last year, I would assume kind of helped you this offseason, introduced you to the right people as well, getting in front of Billy Martin Jr., Justin Bird, someone you've played with a long time. What's it like I don't know how long it's been since you guys were technically teammates, but what's it like to be teaming up again here in Grand Prairie?
Jay Bird, I've been playing with that guy since 8 years old. Dallas Tigers, select ball. That's when I first played with that guy. I remember he had the flow going as a little kid back then. I remember all that. We played for a few select teams together, the Chaparrals, I think. Last time we played together, we were like 13, I think. Middle school ball at FBA. We were like 13. But it's really cool. I played against him in the Pecos, and I played against him in the Pacific Association last year too. He was on the Napa Silverados, and I was on the Vallejo Admirals. So I thought it was really cool just to play against him because we were really good friends growing up. We have all these pictures and stuff of us in our uniforms, arms around each other, messing around, elbowing each other in the stomach and stuff like that. It's just really great. He's a childhood friend. I grew up with him. We kind of fell out of contact throughout the teenage years because of circumstances, lived in different places, all that other stuff. But as he started going through independent ball and trying to climb the ranks, and I started going through independent ball and trying to climb the ranks, like we reconnected. And we were out of connection, but back in college we kind of got back in touch. But now it's just awesome to be back with a childhood friend, someone I know I can trust out there, someone who I've seen his whole life play his heart out. I'm comfortable with him in right field. I'm comfortable with his bat in the lineup. He's got a very patient bat. I faced him many times. He's a very hard out. He's one of those guys where I look at him, I'm like, attack this guy, because that's the only way you're going to get him. And those guys are dangerous at the plate, and I want him behind me. I love that guy.
Yeah, Justin Bird's very quickly become a fan favorite here in Grand Prairie, and we're looking forward to having him back in 2020. Talk a little bit more about the Pacific Association, because it is, when you look at the order of those independent leagues, the Pacific Association is a little bit of a jump up from the Pecos League in terms of quality and play and most of the stadiums and stuff like that. But again, there's still a pretty big difference again from Pacific Association to get into American Association. Definitely.
The Pacific is definitely a step up from the Pecos League. It's not here, but I played with my first major leaguer last year in the Pacific, Okoye Dixon. He played for the LA Dodgers. I think he was up there for a month or two in 2017 for their World Series run. That's the first time I ever played with someone on my team that wasn't like a spring training invite who actually made it to the league. Guys up there, affiliated guys. You see affiliated guys in the Pecos League, but like they're in the Pacific, they're coming in. At the same time, there are guys there that it's like, all right, you're good, but I'm not trying to talk down on anybody, but realistically, talent level, there's a wave here. Either you're really, really good and maybe you should be somewhere else, or it's like, okay, I can understand why you're here. Sure. Not saying you're not going to get better in the future. But it's like, all right, the Pacific Association is where you need to be right now. And the fields, some of them are city fields, but they're better. You know, they're actually taken care of. Like Sonoma has a little mini stadium going on out there. It's a real nice field. Where I played for in Vallejo, city field, but they took care of it and they understood. They had a whole merchandise section, you know, for the fans and everything. They had the bar with all the beer and all that back there for the fans and everything. So like they understood this is more of a professional environment. So Pacific is a step up. It's not here, but it's definitely the talent level, I would say, is on another level. Some really good talent out there, man. My throwing partner last year, Dakota Freeze, he was in the athletics organization for a stint. He threw 100 miles an hour. Well, the radar flashed 99, but you know, tomato. That's really close to 100 miles an hour. Like there's talent out there. Carl Bryce, he flashed 98. Alex Leach, our closer, he's with Windy City right now in the Frontier League. He just signed. He was topping 96 out of the pen. It's just, there's a lot of talent out there that I feel like gets overlooked, but it's like, all right, you're here for right now. Next year, you might get an opportunity at a higher place. So I enjoyed my time in the Pacific. It wasn't bad. It was a growing and a learning experience, and I loved it out there.
I think you're absolutely right, especially when you look at the different levels of talent there. The AirHogs, a couple of years in a row, have really been able to take advantage of taking some of the guys out of that league. You look at Javion Randall, an outfielder for the AirHogs, hit 280 with us last year. The year before, he was a 400 hitter in the Pacific Association and won MVP of that league. And he was able to come in and be an everyday center fielder, play one of the better levels of defense in this league, and again, was a 280 hitter at the end of the season. So there's a ton of talent out there. Hopefully Billy's got his eye in the right spots to keep getting the gems and pulling them out here in the Grand Prairie.
Definitely. Make that run for a championship this year.
Hey, that's the goal. Matt, we appreciate you coming on and joining us. Even more, we appreciate you kind of introducing yourself to the Hog faithful, because it's going to be a really fun season. We're really looking forward to it, and hopefully we can get some fun behind the scenes, maybe some prank wars between you and Justin Bird as the 100%. Season goes on.
We may already have some stuff cooking up there right now.
Go. As long as I'm in on it, we can get a good hidden camera shot or something of you messing with some people. I'm all for it.
But don't tell them.
Yeah. Appreciate you.
Great to have.
We'll be back
thank
after
you for having
this.
Me.
All right. Can I get a grilled chicken club, extra bacon, please? So just regular bacon. Just a grilled chicken sandwich then.
At Texas Paint, we know how valuable your time is. So keep painting. We're on the way. We can be where you need us, when you need us, anywhere in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. With free 2-hour delivery of paints, stains, sundries, and expert product advice. Save time, save money. Find the location closest to you at texaspaint.com. That's free 2-hour delivery from Texas Paint. Go to texaspaint.com. That's texaspaint.com.
Hey everybody, I appreciate you guys joining us on what's been another great episode of Hog Heaven. I want to say a special thank you to both of our guests this week. I'm already starting to look forward to that 2020 season and getting a chance to talk to some of these guys, seeing how they're looking forward to 2020, how excited they are for the upcoming season, really gets me amped up and ready for what could be maybe the best season of AirHogs baseball we've ever seen. And that's one of the best things about baseball. Hope springs eternal every single spring. And as major league teams head to spring training, we're starting to think about AirHogs baseball. That's all that we have for everybody this week. Again, I'm Tim Costello. A big thanks to my producer, Zach Lee, and both of our guests. We'll see you next week in Hog Heaven.